Transition. Hello, everyone. Hello. Everyone. Hello. Hold on. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is not working. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is not working. Hello, everyone. This is not working. Hello, everyone. This is not. Okay. This is not. Hello, everyone. This is not. Okay. All right. I figured out, but let me explain something to you. There's a software that feeds into YouTube. It's called MyStream. And what happens is, when I turn on YouTube, I have to make sure that YouTube, the voice is turned off, the sound is turned off. But I don't think I can do that until I turn it on. So what happens is I turn it on one thing, and then I talk, and then I realize, oh my God, I have to turn that off. I just want to say F you to somebody, and I don't know who to say F you to. I don't know who to say F you to. Let me see if this thing works. Okay, and then you see me. You see me in my moment of weakness. I'm a really weak person. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I mean, when you first signed up for this show, well, you didn't sign up really, but you probably thought to yourself, that's Lewis Schaffer. He's an internationally famous supporting artist, TV actor. He was in a play in 2016. He was on, recently seen on GB News. He's a pundit. He's a somebody. But I'm not. There's something seriously the matter with me. I swear you do this purposely. Best night stream shows. I don't think so. No, I don't do it purposely. I don't. I go into bed after the show is over. And I think I'm going to go to sleep, but I can't sleep. I can't sleep. And then I think to myself that I'm going to have, look at that, Paul Yoward is here. And then I think to myself that I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling the same as I felt at the earlier show, but I'm not. Obviously, I'm not. And then this thing happens, and I get all, as they say, for blunget. Which means, I think it means messed up. I've lived in this country so long. I don't even speak. Not that I ever spoke Yiddish, but I grew up around Yiddish words. Nobody ever spoke Yiddish in my house, but they spoke a lot more Yiddish words than I do. You're looking refreshed and dapper. And then I comb my hair. I wash my face. Thank you very much, Mum. Thank you, Mum. Thank you, Mum. Everybody say hello to Paul Yoward. He's an internationally famous live streamer. He was recently seen on Lewis Schaffer's radio program. Joe says, hi, Paul. I listened to the radio show earlier. Fab. There you go. Will the woke complain that Oscar is naked and not non-binary? Does he have a penis, Oscar? I don't think Oscar has a penis. I don't even know about that. Anyway, you're all too kind. People seem to like you earlier. My grandpa only spoke Yiddish. We never talked a lot. Yeah, because he only spoke Yiddish. I mean, who knows how many people speak Yiddish in this world? Is it necessary for people to speak Yiddish? I remember what Isaac Bashevis Singer said about Yiddish, where he said there are 3,000 universities in America, and each one of those universities, somebody needs to do a master's or a PhD or a senior thesis, and maybe one or two of those people are going to do a thesis on on Yiddish, and it's going to keep Yiddish alive. I can't do Yiddish alive. You're in, yeah. You've won. You could. It's not acting. It's not acting. It's pundit. I don't know what it is. Is this going to be a focaccia? No, focaccia is Italian. Is Italian bread? Isn't that what focaccia is? Thank you, Lucy Van Pelt. Beautiful, beautiful Lucy Van Pelt. And there's John Van Dam. Very good radio show. Enjoyed it, said John Van Tel. Lewis, I posted that earlier. I noticed that you changed your shirt. You're looking good. I'm observant. I'm trying to wear different things between the two shows. I have a lot of clothes, but I don't know what's the right thing. I found this in the street as well. Do you remember that? I don't even remember where I find these things. I'm so immune to them. Does Yiddish count as patois? Um, it is a mixture of German and and Hebrew, written in a Hebrew form and with some Hebrew words. But there's also Russian Yiddish, which is a mixture of Russian and Yiddish form. So is it a patois? Let's look up whether it's a patois. First of all, what does a patois mean? Is Yiddish? I'm looking on the screen right now, but I'll look at you while I'm writing. Is Yiddish a patois? Okay, let's see what it says. It says it's thinking. It says no, Yiddish is not considered a patois, regional dialect, or pidgin. It is a fully developed West Germanic language that originally originated in the 9th century Holy Roman Empire, blending medieval German with Hebrew, Aramaic, and Slavic elements. It has its own unique grammar, rich literature, and vocabulary spanning centuries. What about Russian? Let's see what it says about Russian. Russian Yiddish. Does it say, no, Russian Yiddish is generally not considered. Yiddish is a distinct. Well, what does it say about Russian? Eastern Yiddish, sometimes called Eastern Yiddish. I don't know. Do you guys want to see what I'm reading here? Is varieties of Yiddish spoken in Russian Empire, Eastern Europe, are dialects of overall Yiddish language, specifically Eastern Yiddish, Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Lithuanian dialects. It's heavily influenced. Jargon. In the past, Russian Yiddish was sometimes dismissively referred as jargon by outsiders or assimilated Jews, but this was a derogatory term, not a linguistic. Note on Judea, there is a related but different phenomenon called Judeo-Russian or Jewish Russian, sometimes called Odessa Russian, which is where I might be from. I am 100% Ashkenazi Jew from the Ukraine and Poland, and Odessa was the largest Jewish city there, I believe, which is a variety. I don't even know why I said that. I'm not even sure of that. I'm not. So it's not a patois. What exactly is a patois? How about we look that up? What exactly is a patois? Is a localized, non-standard form of language, often functioning as a regional dialect, Creole, or vernacular, distinct from the standard language of the country. Jamaican patois, most commonly used, referred to Jamaican patois, distinct from broken, and sometimes it's rough speech. Languages like Jamaican patois to be complex, govern Creole rather than merely incorrect English. A dialect. I don't understand what the difference is. Can someone explain it to me? Please explain it to me. So there we go. There we go. I wouldn't have to work hard. I'm going through the whole song now. I wouldn't. We're talking about that thing right now. You've gotten ahead of me, Lewis. Lewis. Have you read the book Falsification of History by George Hammer? I read it years ago. Now tell me about it, Lewis. Have I read the Torah? I've read many pieces of the Torah. The Torah is the five books of the Bible: Genesis, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Numbers, and some other book. Chaimi. Fully developed. What does that mean? Is that what a patois means, or is that what Yiddish is? A fully dev. Anyway, I mean, the thing about the Jews is the Jews change. Jargon the merciless. That's what it said. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't. Yeah, that's from Fiddler on the Roof, and I saw Fiddler on the Roof recently, and it reminded me of this time right now, where there's all around people are being hostile to the Jewish community there, and the Jews left. The Jews just left. They left the country. Some people stayed and died. Some people stayed and became prime minister of the Ukraine, but others left and they made their lives in America or someplace else. Hello, Jack, or whoever you are. There you go. Lucy's being friendly. Being very, very friendly. Yes, whoever you are, Jack. Boy. Del Boy is just one of my many, many personalities. Del Boy Trotter. Well, that's good. I mean, I don't think having multiple personality. I don't believe in multiple. We do have we have one personality. We've got different ways of behaving. Fiddler on the Roof made me cry, as I know what is come for us. Yes, yes, Andy, that is true. It made me cry too. It made me cry. And it wasn't even that good a play, a musical. It wasn't even that good. It was like one of those things that was done like, I mean, all these plays are done like in private, in in some, what do they call those things? Summer stock or some high school, and it's made, and then they take it to New York and it's a big hit, but it's incomplete. The Mold Man. Oh, okay. The Mold Man with them black teeth and white. Okay, thank you. Okay, we get the idea there. Sunrise is a beautiful song and scene. Yeah, it's just sad. The whole thing is sad, and then what's sad is there are people there who are saying we're not part of this community. We've moved to Kiev and we're not part of the community. And you lose people in the family. You can't keep the family together forever. It's like that's the problems. You think you're going to be a community forever, but some people walk up and they leave and they say, you know what, I don't want to have any trouble. Don't make trouble. Stock up on tinned foods, pasta, tinned rice, tinned meat, fish, dehydrated potato and stuff. Shortages and panic buying coming to the supermarket near you soon. Yeah, well, I'm with you. Probably that's true. I don't think you should stock up on, well, maybe on rice. I don't know. I think rice it's got arsenic in it. Memories of my mom and her sister singing it all around the piano. Memories, yeah, singing that song, 1960s. When did it come out? When was Fiddler on the Roof made? Let's just see when this was. When was Fiddler on the Roof written? I'm going to say early 60s, 63. It was written between 61 and 6, and there you go. I was right. When did it here? Can you see that there? Can you see that? By Jerry Bach, Sheldon Harnick, books by Joseph Stites, based on Tevye the Dairyman stories by Shalom Aleichem, which were first published in 1894. I mean, my family came to America in the 1890s, and the other half came in one. I don't know when they came, but one came in 1916. 1916, one side of the family, and the other one came. I mean, it's over 100 years ago. Over 100 years ago. I mean, I know. I mean, what's happening? What's happening? Ruben is a prepper and can't blame him. I have noodles laid down with chicken broth sachets. Survival, but not thriving. I mean, you should have things that are the most caloric and protein dense. Protein dense, that's what you need. I must confess, I've never seen Fiddler on the Roof. And I saw it like 50 or 60 years ago. And then I saw it like 2 years ago. My friend Ivor took me there. I don't think he didn't feel it. He didn't feel it. Felt it slightly, but he didn't feel it enough. And I'm like sitting here saying, this is us. Ivor, this is us. And he doesn't feel like an us. He's one of these Jews who thinks that he's gonna escape. He's gonna be a good Jew, and they're not gonna come after him. I mean, I talk about it too much, but this is the news. This is what's going on in Iran. People are supporting a radical Iranian regime. Horrible. It was based on Russian Jews looking for a better life. Yeah, yeah. Well, where was Shalom Aleichem from? Let's find out where he was from. Where did Shalom Aleichem come from? I mean, that's not the right question to ask, but let's ask. Present day Ukraine. He's like me. I mean, we never even learned about. I mean, we did learn, but we never. His family was from Paris. Okay, born to a merchant family. I mean, things were good in those countries, and then they became not so good. Let's see where this is. This is where he came from. It's on the Dnieper River. Well, all the way in, like near Kiev. Look at how far in he was. That's where he was born. Can you see this? Can you see Kiev here, Kharkov here, and then down here is Odessa. Chisinau. These are the main. This is like the Jewish belt, the Jewish cities. I mean, very interesting. Very interesting. Where was he raised? He was raised in Voronkov. In Voronkov. In Voronkov. You hate to move. You hate to move. So this is where he was born. This is well, that's the guy's name. He's a hockey forward. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the place. There's a guy he's named after this. Okay. That's a very small place. And what river is that? We don't want that. We want this layer. We want this layer. Did you see where this went? Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, there's this. There's this. And there's Kiev. So it's like a suburb outside Kiev. There's Kiev. And he was born, I think he was born here, and then he moved over to here, to this little tiny little village. But it's now all built up. Let's see what's going. Maybe it isn't built up. Let's just see what's going on there. He's like me. I mean, he's an Ashkenazi Jew. This is where the Ashkenazi Jews lived. Really interesting. Let's see the satellite there. The town, the fields. It's the breadbasket of Russia. They lost their breadbasket, and there's an airport, and there's Kiev there. So it's outside by the airport. Is this interesting to you? Look at this. There's this big airport that they have. It's the Borispil International Airport. It's temporarily closed. I guess it's the Russians. And then here's the river down here, the floody river. And this is all of the this is the breadbasket of the Soviet Union, and then they had to give it up. They had to give it up. I mean, brilliant. I mean, not brilliant, not brilliant at all. Not brilliant at all. Music, it seems, in teenagers is new paper moves. Them in cocaine. Uh, okay. I thought the actor Chaim Topol, who played Tevye, was great. I didn't think so. I thought I wanted somebody famous. I wanted Zero Mostel. I mean, Zero Mostel was absolutely brilliant. I love how restaurants is always the default places of interest in Google Maps. Why not toilets, the train station, the pharmacy? Because people pay to get in there. You have to pay money, maybe, to put your thing to be highlighted. That's why it's the presumed thing. That's how they made money. They came up with the maps. They figured out how can we make money from it. That's what they used to say about Google. That they come up with the idea and then they figure a way to make money on it. I don't know whether that's true or not. Do you know if it's true? But we should all say, what do you think the best food to save would be? One of the heads I worked for, Vatanai, hello Vatanai, had the name Zefman. His family came to the UK from one of the Baltic states. Zef is a Jewish name. He put Von in front to become Von Zefman to sound posher. His father was a tailor. Yes, that's quite common to put Von, like von Sternberg, the director. He did that too. We all need money, Lewis. We need money. We need money. And if you want to help me with the, whatever, you can go to, you could go to Ko-fi and make a contribution. I would appreciate it. Hey, Vatanai, welcome back, says Joe. As happy as a happy aside, I'm rich. Yeah, well, we need, you know what I mean, and you need to play. I don't know what we need to have something because let's be honest, Keir Starmer is not the right person to handle the situation. He's not on our side, and he's doing the wrong thing, even if he is on our side. I pretended to be Jewish to up my sales. Yeah, maybe you need to do that. You need to. It's like they always say: you are what you have. You are what your top 5 friends are. And if you pretend that if you've got top 5 friends, maybe they have to be Jewish who are working hard and smart. Having a quiet shift, fingers crossed. Okay, well let's cross our fingers and hope that that Vatanai has a quiet day and enjoys this thing. We're only going to be here for about an hour, only about an hour, because my son needs to go to bed. We might be a little bit longer until he yells at me, and then I'll get off it. I'm 2,000 years old, so I have watched you all. Joe is singing matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. It's definitely a sign I must watch it again. Yeah, I mean, and you can picture, you saw on the map, we're looking at the map right here, right? We're looking, and you can see this is, I mean, this area is in the news right now. This is the news. This is the Odessa. This is the river that flows up there all the way to Kiev, one of the longest rivers in the world. And these little towns, I mean, obviously Kiev is a huge town, but this was, I don't know how many miles is this. This is a lot, that's very close. It's very, very, very close. Someday it'll be all right to live there again. Oh, look at that. This is up there. This is the reserve area. This area here, it doesn't even have any roads anymore. But this is where Chernobyl is. Let's see if we can get a place where Chernobyl Oblast. It's so close to Kiev, really. That's Chernobyl. Oh, maybe it's there. The reserve, Palsky State Radio Reserve. So that's not that. So this is Chernobyl here. I think and it's close to the border of Is that the border? Where is the border of the Ukraine? No, it's not. It's not exactly. Where is Kiev? Kiev. There's Kiev, and there's the road up to Chernobyl. It's probably amazing up there. It's just like all been abandoned, whatever, like Detroit, you know. And then this was, I guess, the city over here. There's the city. Where this is? Could this be this? Is this the power plant here, or is this the town? Could that be what it is? Yeah, maybe this is it. Yeah, they had to cover it up. I mean, the Russians did a good job. That brought about the downfall of the Soviet Union. And it looks like over here, what's happened over here? There's no farming going on. But this looks like it doesn't have anything growing here, does it? Can you see this, everyone? Is this interesting to you? I don't know if it's interesting to you. I don't know if it's interesting to you. Okay. Nathaniel Benjamin Levi Bar Jonah, real name David Paul Brown. Yeah, you change your name. You change your name to fit in, and then eventually you forget what you are, or where you came from, basically. But or maybe they want you to forget. Maybe you're supposed to forget. There are more people who are Jews. You, Lucy, you could be a Jew. The number of people who were a Jew. It was surprising for me because I did a DNA test. And I found out I was exactly what I said I was, which is 100% Ashkenazi Jew. It was the most disappointing thing. If people had stayed in Chernobyl, there would have been fewer premature deaths. There would have been fewer premature deaths than the evacuation. What do you mean by that? The map was obscured by the search panel. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, this search panel, you mean? There we go. Oh yeah. Sorry, but thank you. It's stuck there. Now, okay, here we go. I don't know. What do you think this is? What is all this area here? Monument to those who saved the world. Yeah, maybe they did save the world. Are they letting people go in there? Or are they keeping it wild? I think they're supposed to be like 25 miles or something. I don't see any houses in there. They must have torn them down or something. It's a wild place. Very flat and very wild. Can you see this? Can you see this? And there is. So there's Chernobyl there. And where. And then this thing pops up. '50 '51 degrees north. And this is the amazing thing. From here, you can not look, but there's nothing. It's all flat all the way. All the way. Where is the tallest point? Let's see what it says. Tallest point in Ukraine. Where would the tallest point be? Okay, there it is. It's a mountain peak. Directions. Conical shaped wooded mountain. It's over here. But all the way, all of this area here, can you see where I'm pointing at here? It's all flat. It's all flat. I guess the tallest point is on the western side of the Ukraine. There's nothing there. I mean, Why is Britain so obsessed with Russia? Do you guys know? Why are you really upset? You're more obsessed than America is. I love you, Mummy, my former mummy. I made apple pie pockets today, kind of like fajitas, but apple, cinnamon, and brown sugar inside with toffee sauce drizzled on the outside. That sounds like amazing food. Well, when I was working for Mossad, I was making coffee. Let's see what's going on here. Why are you guys obsessed with Russia so much? Why is the left obsessed with Russia in this country? Weren't you guys friends for a while? Do you feel like they disappointed you? You can briefly visit Chernobyl, and it was all overgrown. A German artist tried to show insects were mutated, but there were no more than anywhere else. No more mutated insects. Yeah, so you think people panicked unnecessarily? It was 40 years ago. Who's been to Chernobyl? I'm just boring old English. But I have a family tree going back to 1214 coming here from France. So maybe not that boring. Everybody is the same, basically, over time. I mean, you forget where you come from. People think, oh, this is my home. But you've only been there for a few years. My family tree is missing an oak or three, says Andy. More people, according to Paul Yoward, died evacuating Chernobyl because of the lack of community where they went because of radiation. Can you put punctuation, Paul? It's so irritating. It's so irritating, and you're getting away with it because you're my friend. But I'm going to call. Okay, you could go on tours to Chernobyl, especially Pripyat, inside the exclusion zone before the Ukraine war. Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. I've seen the videos from that. It looked really pretty and desolate and like a bit scary. Growing up, says Paul, we were under threat from nukes from Russia. We had charts on the wall showing what would happen if Leeds was bombed. So is that going to happen now? What does Lucy Van Pelt says? She says repost because you got completely the wrong idea. Serial killer Nathan Bar Jonah said he changed his name because he wanted to experience anti-Semitic persecution. Yeah, a lot of times that happens where black people who they always wonder, well, what is it like to whatchamacallit, to be what are white people really thinking? So he was a Jew. He was a Jew. Yeah, yeah, lots of Jews. The untold children disappeared, rumors spread. He didn't just live among them, he fed them the unthinkable. Yeah, that's pretty horrible. That's pretty horrible. I never heard of him. Do you think I'm going to do that to you, Lucy? Bar Jonah, it means son of Jonah, bar mitzvah, was an American convicted child molester. Suspected of cannibalistic serial, he was sentenced to 130 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Was born. No, he wasn't. He changed his name. Was he Jewish? Let's find out if he's Jewish. During a 2008 interview with Dr. Michael Stone for television, he claimed he was Jewish and wanted his name to reflect that. In fact, Bar Jonah's ethnic ancestry was Scandinavian. His parents were both active in Assemblies of God. Yeah. He gave several. This is very interesting, Lucy. Always with interesting stuff. Okay. He gave several reasons for changing his name. He told friends and relatives he wanted to know what it was like to be discriminated against and persecuted as a Jew. What, you think because you're called Bar Jonah? That first of all, what kind of Jew is named Bar Jonah? That's like a Hebrew name. But what year was he born in? I never even heard of this guy. He was born 1957. Oh my God, he's a month older than I am. My birthday's coming up, March 30th. How did he die? Let's find out how he died. Did he die of diabetes or something? Death. Let's see what his death is. I can't read everything here, but this is quite interesting. He weighed in excess of 300 pounds. That's why he died. He died 57, 2007. That's only how many years is that? It's only 50 years. He was 50 years old. 50 years old. I mean, that's quite scary. Oh, you didn't see that. Apparently, there's a website called Jew or Not Jew, which confirms whether or not public or notable person is Jewish. Jonah Hill is, of course, Jewish. Well, Joan is a Jewish name, but I mean, my name is Lewis. That's not a Jewish name. I was named that way. It's a Scottish, Welsh name. My mother wanted to have a real whitey name. I'm not 50. March 30th, I will be 69 years old. Oh my God, I'm so old. I'm so old. Forgive me for being old. Forgive me for being old. That sounds anti-Semitic to me. What sounds anti? Sammy was one of the most talented guys ever, but yes, one last. Who are we talking about here? Jew or not Jew? Well, why don't we go to that website? Let me go to the website and we can see what they say about me. I've become I've been thinking about this just so much, this Jew or not Jew thing. I gotta stop. It's so boring. I apologize. Just say enough with the Jews. Jew or not Jew. Let's see what the site says. If it is a real site, it could be a real site. No results found. Maybe it's not a real site. Jew or not Jew. Okay, yeah, here it goes. Recent profiles. Jason and Randy Sklar. I know them. I used to know them personally. They're American comedians. 1972. Verdict Jew. Jew. Let's see what it says about. Maybe it says something about Lewis Schaffer. Where do I put it in here? Where would I put it in? Updated male, female, comedians. How about comedians? Woody Allen. Let's see if Lewis Schaffer is here. I guess I'm not listed. I guess I'm not a big enough shot. Look at all these people who are famous. Eliza Schlesinger. She's so beautiful. Was so beautiful. But you can't be funny and beautiful. You shouldn't be funny and beautiful. It's like that's my problem in the comedy world is I'm funny and beautiful. It's not right. I should not be funny and beautiful. I shouldn't be. There we go. Was Richard Lewis the same then? Did he change his name? I mean, he was hardly disguised. Jews came to the country and they changed their name. Whether they were forced to or whether the guy at the immigration office gave him a new name. Lots of names. Garfield was Jewish. Lewis, to do the old joke, 69 is my favorite number. Okay, well, there we go. We could do that too. Is Woody Jewish? Is the Pope Catholic? No, really. Now, is the Pope Catholic? That's a good joke. Is the Pope Catholic? I don't know. I think he's almost a Muslim right now. Is the King Catholic? No. No. Sammy Davis Jr. is who the Sammy was. Yeah, he became Jewish because you wanted to fit in Hollywood, and it was a very cool thing to be. That's the thing. It's cool. It's cool. It's like everything. You're only 5 years older than me, Lewis. No, I'm not. I'm way, way older than you. You're a young little girl to me. You are my little baby, Mom. Okay? If you want to be older than me, if you want to be my mom, you could be my mom. If you want to be my, my whatever you want to be, that's the game we play. I don't think he would have experienced much anti-Semitism in America in the 1980s. No, people were very quiet very quiet about it. You couldn't say anything about the Jews. You couldn't. You couldn't. I mean, not that the Jews were a protected class. It isn't like Muslims today, where where it's against the law. You cannot, because people are thinking horrible things. It was just most people didn't know Jews, and the Jews were good. We did a lot of good things, I guess. I guess that's true, Lucy Van Pelt. Jew or not Jew. Okay. Let's see what's going on, Lewis. It's all written down on parchment, so I feel I know some of my roots. Okay, what are your roots here? The way you could find out about anti-Semitic persecution is not by changing your name. The way you speak to your friends and you ask your friends, do you hate Jews? Basically, that's how you find out this stuff. Have you heard about that? Whoopi Goldberg apparently picked the surname Goldberg as a Jewish name, as her mother told her that it would get her on short lists in Hollywood. Yes, probably yes, that's true. Somebody said about Whoopi Goldberg, she's neither Whoopi nor a Goldberg. And she's basically gone downhill so much. You can't even see it on the she's on this program called The View, which is like Loose Women, but very political. And she's very, very left-wing. Really horribly left-wing. Scary anti-Semitism now. Do people know your gasket theory? I don't know. I think I've said it. I've said it. That's what the Jews are, with a little bit of cork in between the head gasket and the whatever the main part of the engine is. Whoopee cushion. Yeah, that's what the name Whoopee basically was. It was a whoopee cushion. Who invented the whoopee cushion? I'd like to check that out myself. Who invented the whoopee cushion? Let's see what it says about who invented the whoopee cushion. Who invented the whoopee cushion? Okay, here we go. We'll see here. I'll let you read this thing. It just doesn't have to be just me. The modern whoopee cushion was invented in 1930 by the JME Rubber Company in Canada, which pitched the idea to Samuel Adams of the SS Adams Company, famous for practical jokes. While initially deemed too vulgar, it became a classic gag gift known as a raspberry cushion. The JEM Rubber Company, the SS Adams Company. The modern rubber whoopee cushion was invented in the 1930s. Who owned? Let's see what it says about the JEM Rubber Company. I didn't know this. I'm learning something, and that's what's great about this show, and that's why I love you. I love you because I'm learning something. The JME. The company's owner approached Samuel Sorsen Adams. The device was made from 2 sheets of rubber, adhere at the perimeter with a small flap opening at one end for the air to exit. Whoopee cushions lack durability and can break easily, lasting longest when they are not inflated or sat on with excessive force. You could probably still get it today. Flatulent noises can be made inflating a toy balloon, then releasing the opening. Let's see. Is JEM Rubber owned by Jews? Let's see what that is. I bet it is. JEM Rubber Company of Toronto, owned by Jews. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Nothing doesn't say. Well, let's see where this place is. 3723 Dundas Street West. That's the address. That's the address. Let's see what it says. Let's go here. Map. Can you see this, everybody? Can you see this? Is this interesting? Probably not. But this is where the factory was, I guess. Or maybe it's still there. This is in Toronto. It's towards the edge of town, or maybe it's look at the urban sprawl. Oh my God, it's all urban sprawl. Look at Toronto. This is all urban sprawl, and this over here is America. Right here is Niagara Falls. This part is America, and this part is Canada. That's where everybody lives. They live right on the border here. Annexed America. I saw there was a TV program which showed Canada as like they showed an ID card which showed that the person lived in let's see what's going on here. Looks a mess. That's not the Canada that I remember. Let's get back on track. I have many stories regarding using them to embarrass my dad when sorting out couples' wedding plans. I was 12, so I am blameless. I mean, you have to take some responsibility. You're still 12. You knew it was wrong and you laughed. Yeah. Um, so you did know it was wrong. Have you heard that Whoopi go? Okay, I went back, but I mean, maybe I'm going too far ahead. Are the surnames green, white, gold, and blue Jewish in origin? No, it's like what happened is there was a certain time when Austria or Germany, when they had increasing empire strengths, and they needed to keep track of the people, so they insisted that people have a last name, and because they had to have a new last name, so they wrote down Green or Brown or what. I don't know where that came from. Canada, the Canadians are beautiful. It's their government I have an issue with. You know what? At some point, they have to take responsibility for their government. Yes, in the 10th century, says Lucy to Reuben. What is Reuben saying? Muslim humor, apparently. Um, I have many stories. Okay, what was the question, Reuben, that Lucy answered? Kelly Osbourne still gets hate for saying, who's going to clean the toilet if Donald Trump cracked down on immigration? But I don't think she meant it that way. Yeah, yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem with immigration. Maybe if they paid people more money to do those horrible jobs, like, people would do them. Most Jews had names that meant value, hence gold or silver. But there's a lot of Greens, Joe Green, Mo Green, all those names. My name is Schaffer. I don't even know what that means. It means either hard work or shepherd. My mom was the ringleader, despite of being a mom and a teacher. Great role model for leading me astray. Yes, I can imagine. Muslim humor is surely an oxymoron. I would say no. I think I would, lots of countries, and not all Muslims are the same, but lots of countries are really funny. Are really funny, but you got to be careful. It's not quite as funny. I don't think they can be broadly funny. Gwelb is a box. Is that right? That's our friend. Is that what that means? Gwolb. How do you pronounce his name? Let me go see what this means. Gwolb. Is that how you spell his name? Roger Gwolb. There you go. Name origin. I'm looking up the name origin of it. I'm sorry. This show has been okay. It hasn't been horrible. I am still focused. I'm not as good as I was in the earlier show, but you got to remember, this is like late at night, maybe. The name Gewol variants has Eastern European Ashkenazi origins, often associated with Yiddish, meaning arch or vault, is typically an occupation or ornamental name. Someone who worked in construction or lived near a vaulted a vaulted structure. It is not typically related to the Polish dove or the German Gawel, whatever that means. despite spelling similarities. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm so glad I've opened up about my family being slightly dysfunctional. I forgive you. They killed Zwan, the comedian, in Afghanistan. Yeah, I mean, this is also a time of war. Lucy Van Pelt says people don't realize how different the modern interpretation of the Quran is. So different from the old one. It's almost a reverse to that in Christianity. What are you saying? They're trying. The one in Christianity is like, let's be nice to people. I mean, the Bible in America is about smoting. That's what the Jews are all about back in the day, but they're not about that now. But Israel is bringing it back, and let's go. Good on them. Vatana, I use my favorite. He's one of my favorites, but you're all my favorites. But Vatana is my favorite. There was a student at college whose name was Goldberg. Goldberg. He shortened it to Gold, which sounded less Jewish. My mother's name was Gold. If you want to do any checks on Lewis Schaffer, on Gold. Her name was Harriet Gold. And Becky Gold was the mother, Rebecca Gold, and Benjamin was my grandfather on my mother's side. Let me, I lost the place here. He said the surnames colors were anglicized or Americanized by the Jewish American Jews to hide their Jewishness. Not to hide it exactly, but just to be less in your face with it. Like, why is everybody named Muhammad? It's like the Jews, they wanted to fit in. That's why the Jews are not really a major threat in this country. I didn't say that. Ruben did. What did you say? What did you not say? What did Ruben say? Oh, this is Ruben said this. Okay, sorry about that, Lucy. Sorry, I'm glad you could call me out on it. You could call me out on it. Andrew Gold shortened his name, and his folks did, recommended his podcast also. Well, my mother's name was Gold, so maybe I'm related to Andrew Gold. Possibly. We all have different names. Yeah, Andrew Gold. I like his take. He got into a bit of trouble. I don't know why he got into a bit of trouble. He got a bit of trouble. My family's extremely dysfunctional, with me being the worst. I don't think you are. I think you're active. I use the word to describe you as active. You're an active thinker. You're a real woman. Andy used to like Andrew Gold, but now you don't like him. I don't know what happened. I should find out about him. I met him. He's a lovely guy. Thank God I'm not alone. That's why we bond on here, Mom. Yeah, everybody's like that. Mom says, goodness, my family is extremely dysfunctional, with me being the worst. Oh, I thought that was Joe saying that, but that was Mom saying that. I've got to be careful. I'm ascribing comments from that. What turned the thought? That's the question. Why is he? Let me Google. I'm going to Google that. What did Andrew Gold say that has gotten him in trouble recently? Okay, let's see what it says. Okay, are you looking here? Andrew Gold, a journalist, they've done recent reports. Hold on. Gold faced a backlash in an interview with Stephen Laws. That's right, a far-right activist. In exchange, Laws suggested that if he were in power, he'd force Jews to go to Israel, and told Gold, who is Jewish, that his residency in Britain was not really your choice. Critics accused the episode of providing a platform for white genocide conspiracy theories and anti-immigration rhetoric. Yeah, do you remember that? Gold received pushback after mentioning in an interview that he walked down the streets of Britain and was not hearing any English. Well, yeah, they would have said that about his family when his family came, whenever they came 100 years ago and was living in Whitechapel. So it goes both ways. And so he put the guy said he wanted the Jews kicked out of the country. The problem is, it's an interesting point. What do you guys make of what you've just read? Apparently, the name Simon is a very popular Jewish name. I know two people called Simon, as I do too. Many are called Simon. Neither are Jewish, and one of them, his name is Simon, said, "I've never heard it was a Jewish name. I am not Jewish," he said with a serious tone, which is concerning. Well, Simon originally is a biblical name. Is a biblical name. I think Andrew Gold is Goldblatt, says Paul Yoward. The nationalist guy made a big deal on it. Steve Laws went off laws. He went off laws in that interview. Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult question because, like, I come from a country of mass immigration, and we take people who live there as Americans, but when they came, they weren't considered very American. The Italians who came, after the First World War or before, slightly before, the same thing with the Jews. Yeah. Family dysfunction is like the weather. Put on your wellies and take a brolly or just fly off to the sunshine. Interesting, Susan C. Yeah, you got to deal with it. My ancestors came here on a boat passage with their cousins, the Finkelsteins. Spelled wrong, but yeah, okay, yeah. Finkelstein means stone. I don't know what Finkel means. Apparently the name, yeah. So people have different names. I'm not in favor of kicking anybody out, but I don't know what's going to happen. Is this going to be a Muslim country? Are they going to turn on the Jews? Are they going to turn on the English people? It seems like they have. Haven't seen my brother for over 11 years. Since our mom died, the second American wife hates me. I'll live. Yeah, that really happens. Don't forget the Picts. Yeah, whatever happened to those guys? They were basically, what happened to the Picts? Were they intermarried? Let's find out what happened to the Picts. Do you mind if I find out what happened to the Picts? What happened there? Hold on a second. That's not the question I had. What happened to the Picts? That gradually absorbed in the Kingdom of Alba in the 10th century through political unification under Kenneth MacAlpin. Gaelic influences. They lost their distinct culture and language, blending into a unified nation. Not annihilation. Contrary to older theories of genocide, recent history shows the Picts merged with Gaelic-speaking Scots in Dalravia, forming stronger kingdom to defend against the Vikings. What's up? Okay. Who is that? Me. Who is me? Columbus? Okay. Who's knocking on the door? Oh, okay. Oh, you're doing that. Okay, tell me when you want me to stop. In a minute. Okay, you're. Fine. No. I'm ready to stop. What? After you're done with that, and when you're ready to go to bed, say, "Can you stop?" And I will stop. Half an hour. It's okay. No, I don't want to. Okay. What a lovely child this is. Jonathan's a Jewish name. It can be, it can't be. Biblical names. They can be, it can't be. I haven't seen any of my family except my mom in over 25 years. I'm not sure if they're all even alive. That's quite common. Me too. I didn't speak to my mother for years. I just couldn't deal with it. I'm sitting here in Britain drowning, and she needs my help, basically. Spanish name their kids Jesus, pronounced Jesus. Please no, Susanna 1202. What happened? What did I miss here? Technically, the most popular Jewish name is Jesus, and I am still yet to meet one. That's not the most popular name. I've never met a kid named Jesus. Well, I think in Spain it's okay to do that. The Gold interview with Laws is worthwhile. It exposed Steve Laws, and in exposing to sunlight, it was a good disinfectant. Yeah. The thing about the Jews is countries that kick the Jews out don't do it. Shimon is Simon. That's exactly right, fucking I. If you kick out the Jews, it's not good for the country. I don't know what it is. My ancestors came. Okay, family dysfunction. Yeah, that's what Susan C. 1202 says. You can change your name and change the 1202 to put to something else. Like I made mine Lewis Schaffer Live. And don't forget the pics. Yeah, so the pics were intermarried there. When I went to Ireland on holiday, I was surprised how normal it was to sell potatoes and strawberries on the side of the road. I had no idea that strawberries were associated with Irish stereotypes. Could be that strawberries are very easy to grow, maybe. And they're delicious. Although a lot of strawberries that are imported from down south are very heavily indebted with pesticides. I don't know whether it's an Irish thing, Spanish popular, but I never met a Jewish Jesus. I've never seen a Jewish Jesus. Never did. Never did. I mean, you have to remember that the Christians weren't that nice to Jews for quite a while. My mom, my bro, and twins, says Susan C., live 1 mile. 1 mile, too, in my spare. My mom, brother, and sister live 1 mile. 1 mile in my spare room away. It's late at night. Late at night. Well, says Lucy, Jewish Jesus would make a whole lot of sense. Well, he was Jewish back in the day. He was Jewish, but you know what? After a while, I mean, people don't name their kids Adolph either. No strawberry talk, please. I've given them up for Lent. You should give them up for the rest. It's that too. You know what it is? I myself have been really bad. I'm eating really, really badly. I had half a loaf of a baguette. I had 2 apples today. I had 4 teaspoons of sugar. My blood sugar is really high. It's really bad. So let's all work on it. And strawberries are low carb, but they are very high in toxic pesticides, from what I've been told. Correct. I have a mug that says, "Friends are the family you choose for yourselves." Damn right. Yeah, yeah. I guess it's true. Unless you hoard together as a tribe or a clan, that's maybe what we should be doing. Maybe that's what we should. But I mean, they've basically broken up the families in this country and in America too. That's what the West has done. They've destroyed families. They've destroyed towns, whatever. I don't know if my father is still alive. I don't have a clue where he is, if alive. He was not a nice man, my father or husband. He'd be 85. He was 21 when I was born. You don't know. You don't know if he was nice or not. It could just be your mother. There's an old saying about its father. A child has the father that the mother wants him to have. If the mother hates the father, you could have a very bad father if the mother hates him. Elijah, Abraham, Jacob don't get Jesus. No. Send me a T-shirt, Paul Yoward. What does the T-shirt say? I was given it to show you the T-shirt that I was given. Strawberry is the only fruit to have seeds on the outside because it's not technically a fruit. Or is it a fruit? That's a good point. I've seen all that about that. Wow, Mom. He may have changed, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he wants to say he's sorry to you. And, not that it matters much, but maybe he does. Just going to start on tomatoes next. Yeah, didn't we discuss tomatoes? Tomatoes are definitely a fruit, but they're a low sugar fruit. And they don't have, even cherry tomatoes are much sweeter. Um, Also, the topic of whiteness is subjective. Many Irish people don't identify as white, and under the UK law, Jews are legally recognized as a race ethnicity, and the left did not get the memo. Well, Hitler thought we weren't white, whatever white means. We weren't them. I mean, that's why race is complete bull, is complete bull. Do I feel white when I'm walking down the street in Brooklyn? I feel white. Yes, strawberry is a fruit, a drupe, not a berry. Is that right? Okay, well, thank you, Paul, for that information. I will not say it's not a fruit. I might say it's not a fruit again. I might say it's not a fruit again. But I might not. I might not say that. I might not. It's a droopy fruit. Sadly, he was an abuser, Lewis, says Mom. Okay. 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 I mean, Aryan race, so you're okay. Because of Aries, misinterpreting somewhat. Very funny. Yeah, I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries, so I'm part of the Aryan race. That's quite funny, actually, Susan. Oh, God, love. People's lives are so interesting and complicated. Who needs soaps? Lots of love, Mom. Yeah, I mean, not that we can believe people. No, that's why Judas left this stream. Jesus, who was an ethnic Jew, believed that he was a completion of the Old Testament teaching. There were some Messianic Christian Jews. Yes, but also, yeah, I don't know. That was very common at the time. Tutti Fruities, the only square fruit. Yeah, I remember Tutti Fruities. Do they still sell them? They were like gummy bears. I used to love them. They were really expensive, and each one was wrapped individually. No one would put up with that now to unwrap them. Hold on a second. To unwrap them. Tutti Fruities. In Leeds, I went to the only Jews for Jesus church outside California. Yeah, well, you can't be a Jew for G. You still, I mean, the irony of it is that you'd still be a victim of anti-Semitism, even if you were a Jew for Jesus. People thought they could be something else, and they thought, oh, Christians are not that they're having fun, but they're not having a bad time either. Jelly tots, fruit with natural sugar crust. Yeah, that was also tasty. I think I know what that is. I was taught that strawberries are berries, with some countries known as bush food. Potatoes can also grow in bushes, but because they are sprouted in the mud ground, they are known as ground food. Potatoes. I mean, who was the first person to eat a potato? How did they know to cook a potato? That's why you shouldn't eat potatoes. But I've been eating potatoes. I'm having a potato. I'm eating. I've got to really control myself. I'm eating too many carbs, including a potato. I go across the street and I've got to fight it off. Let's Google. What does it say? I mean, I believe you, but let's Google. What does it say? Is a strawberry a fruit? Is not a berry, but an aggregate accessory fruit. There we go. Good answer there. Can you see this? So it's not a berry. It's not a berry. Let's find out why it's not a berry. The red fleshy part we eat is thickened receptacle with the seeds on the outside are actually individual fruits. The fruits are on the outside. We eat the red bit. We don't eat the tiny little bits that are called achings. Despite not being botanical berry, it is universally considered a fruit and culinary term. It's not a berry. Chew berries, like bananas are berries. Did you know that? Grapes are berries. Grapes are berries. Tomatoes are berries. Have seeds on the inside and develop from one flower with one ovary. Accessory fruit, fleshy parts derived from the receptacle, not the ovary. Real fruit, tiny yellow-brown seeds on the outside, are botanical fruits with a seed inside. There you go. Those are the seeds. A strawberry is also part of the rose family. That is really interesting. I don't know whether I can believe that because it is from Google, but it could be from that. It could be. It could be. No strawberries or drupes. Potatoes are related to tomatoes and have similar fruit. Yeah, they're called what are they called? They're called a what a potato. They're called a nightshade. They're called a nightshade food. Strawberry milkshake does not taste like strawberry. That's a secondary point, but that's actually true. A rabbi that thought the Orthodox teaching encroached on the poor lives, so he wanted to reform the practices. His teachings became a Christian. There's a lot of pressure to become a member of another ethnic group. There's a lot of pressure for people to become Muslims now. They think, wow, these people really believe. And if I become a Muslim, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be safe, or I'm going to go to heaven, or who needs the trouble? Most fruit called berries are not berries, like blackberries or drupes with seeds outside. Okay. Says Paul Yoward. Pumpkin is a vegetable. Alone, it tastes disgusting, but with sugar to it, lots of spices added to a pie, it's delicious. What, we don't know what a pumpkin tastes like? We don't have pumpkin pie? America loves pumpkin pie. I used to eat it and love it and eat it and love it. And I used to sometimes, it was amazing. Potato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off, yeah. Or sometimes I say, you say potato and I say potato. You say tomato and I say tomato. But let's call the whole thing off anyway. I cannot believe I've opened up. Not usual for me. I feel like I've had therapy tonight. Thank you. Well, you missed something. I didn't speak to my mother for many years, and I haven't spoken to my sister in a few years. At all, at all. I constantly think I should call her, but not usual for me at all. I feel like I have had therapy tonight. That's what Mum says. Lucy Van Pelt says jelly babies were originally called unclaimed babies when it was introduced in 1864. Is that true? Is that true? Is that true? I'm going to have to check that out, even if you say that that's true, because you've got a very devilish sense of humor, Lucy Van Pelt. Very devilish sense of humor. Is this true? Yes, they were invented in 1864 by an Austrian immigrant at Friars of Lancashire and originally marketed as unclaimed babies to reflect the high rates of infant abandonment. Later, they were regarded as peace babies and finally became jelly babies in 1953. Well, thank you for that, Lucy. Did you guys know that? Did you see that there? You didn't see that. Did you see what it says there? Did you see what it says? Lucy was right. There was a lot of writing in postmodernism about strawberries being better at as artificial over the real thing. Trans is related to philosophy of the inauthentic. Yeah, well, that's what humans are all about. Let's make it taste better. Unclaimed babies, as Grimm says, Paul. They were intended to be jelly bears, but they look like chubby infants. Later, to celebrate the end of World War II, they were rebranded as peace babies. And in 1918, before becoming jelly babies in 1953. Have you ever tried root beer? Yes, I have. I love it, but it's rare to find it in the U.S. Well, there's other kinds of similar to root beer. It has to be imported due to the tree that it takes 300 years to grow. It's possible. It's possible, Jack. It's amazing, isn't it? I often keep things inside, even when around close friends. Yeah. I try to let things out. But yeah, I keep things inside too. Did you eat your dinner, Lewis? The other night you had two mouthfuls because my son came and he gave me food. He's not here tonight, or maybe I don't think he's here. We have ginger beer, I guess. That's similar. So what about root beer? What is root beer? And then we're gonna have to say goodbye to everybody so my son can go to sleep. Okay? Root beer. USA. A and W, yeah, this is Barks. These are what is root beer? Sweet carbonated drink flavored with sassafras root bark or sarsaparilla, known for its thick foamy head. Often served as floats. Can you see this? Yeah, you can see this. Okay, everybody, don't write because we're gonna say goodbye right now. And I've been told I shouldn't. I'm going to list all the people that we have to thank. I want you people to write down the number you think is the number one in the stream. What the largest concurrent moment? We had the largest number. Alex was 16. Thank you. Scott was 15. Celaire was 14. Hi-Ho Kermit was 13. Susan C. was 12. Vatanai was 11. John Van Dam was 10. And Andy was 9. Sandeep, who spoke in the beginning and then he disappeared, was 8. Darklands was here at 7. Jack was here at 6. Ruben is here at 5. Lucy Van Dam is 4, very high. And there's Joe, also very high. And Paul Yoward is at 2. And Mum, you've won again, Mum. A round of applause for Mum for being the number one participant. Okay. And then we'll come over here and I'm going to find out. Hold on a second. Who can guess? It wasn't a busy stream, but who can guess what the top number was? Anybody want to guess what the top number was? The largest concurrent number. What's the top number? Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's go. Lucy Van Pelt says 29. She was the first in there. Paul Yoward says 29, but it's going to be Lucy because she was the first one in. Joe is 28. Darklands is 25. You get rewarded for paying attention. Go to Discord. Everybody, also, before you leave, press the like button below. Subscribe if you're new. And maybe send the stream a cup of coffee or or go to Discord and talk to us. Or go to Twitter and do that. Or go to PayPal or Patreon. Who else wants to give a number down here? Does anybody want to give a number? I'm sorry for my many, many personalities, but my opinions and thoughts are the same. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for being open and honest about this. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not being judgmental. Is that all the people who are going to present a number? And I'm going to read over here. I'm going to see who the top number is. The largest concurrent group. I think this show was not the best, but I think it was very good. Maybe it was the best. Maybe you really you got something out of it. I think some of you did, and that's really important to me. Look at this. Okay, so no one is putting down a number. No one has put down a number, and the winner is again. Again, I'm going to give you one more chance to write down a number. See if you come in. If you want to, I think you'd want to be in it to win it. Basically, since about 10:30, we've had the same number of people watching. You've all kept going, which is brilliant. 27 says Susan C. Vatanai says 1. You should turn on super chats. I can't. I've been demonetized. They won't accept super chats. Yeah, you can. You could send in £1 or $1. 28 says Joe. Okay, I'm gonna name the top number, and the winner is who said 24. Who said 24? Mom. Mom was the top person, and she also said 24. Congratulations to Mom. Congratulations to Mom. I do appreciate it. You're the winner, Mom. A round of applause for Mom. Everybody, a round of applause for Mom. With 24 was the largest. And let's see how many people watch the show. And even 100 people. So that's absolutely brilliant. 1 is the new 24. 1 is the loneliest number that you'd ever do. We will see you later. Jack Schaefer says he loves his mummy. I love my mummy. I love you, Mom. I love my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mom. I love you, beautiful mom. When I see you, I'm going to call you Mom. Amy Mann. What about Amy Mann? Did she sing that song? So we will see you tomorrow, everybody, at 5 o'clock. Will we see you tomorrow at 5? I will see you tomorrow at 5. I love you.